In this video, I'll be playing some games like it's 1992. But first, a confession. I'm not really a gamer, I don't have the patience for games, and I'm not very good at playing them. But I still think it makes for an interesting perspective of the times and what hardware could do. And let's face it, it's the only video that'll get any views. I've based this selection on both top lists of the time and a few I thought just looked interesting. As a point of comparison, both the Super Nintendo and Amiga 1200 was released in Sweden in 1992, with the Mega Drive being released back in 1990. I'll be using the computer I built in a previous video. Pushover is a simple puzzle game. The objective is simple. By pushing one piece over, the rest shall follow, with a special final piece falling last. A bit like how most ended up playing with dominoes, except more complicated. There is no saves or anything, just a continue code after each level. It starts easy, and is quite predictable for a while. You need a piece to do something new, and you just so happens to be given a new piece. It quickly goes quite abstract from there, and eventually hit a brick wall with the difficulty, getting stuck in an obtuse condition I couldn't figure out. Aces of the Pacific is a combat flight simulator set during World War II. It has a bunch of different mission types, including both air-to-air and air-to-land. It allows you to play on either the US or the Japanese side, with several missions based on real events, with multiple planes to choose from. It's also worth noting that this is the only game that required me to fiddle around with memory settings to get it running. I found the controls quite imprecise and clunky. There's a few gauges to keep an eye on, but pretty much all you got for navigation is the compass. No waypoints, no arrows telling you where to go, and a mostly unusable map. I ended up mostly just flying around until I felt lost, then activated the autopilot. There isn't much feedback when you hit something either. Wolfenstein 3D is a first-person shooter, one of the first of its kind on a PC. It's set during World War II. You're captured by Nazis in the castle of Wolfenstein. You're basically just walking through levels shooting Nazis. The controls are quite clunky. When playing with the keyboard, it's difficult to respond with any kind of urgency. I guess it's a good thing, but the game is quite slow paced. It's also quite forgiving. You only need to point your gun in the general direction of the enemy. The levels are also quite maze-like, and if you aren't familiar with them, you'll end up walking a lot in circles. Especially since everything kinda looks the same. Formula 1 Grand Prix is a Formula 1 game with quite an angle towards realism. It has modes for playing both single races and a whole championship. It was praised for its good graphics, attention to detail, and high frame rates of up to 25 frames per second. Like quite a few games of this era, the speed is running at is tied to its frame rate. But it did cap the frame rate at its target frame rate. You did have to select that target frame rate, making sure it's set at something your computer can keep up with at all times. Frame rates wasn't that big of a deal. The game looked great and made up for a lot of it. After an 8-lap race, I can conclude that it's about as fun to play as watching it on TV. Ultima VII is a role-playing game. It's continuing the story from the past couple installments, but it stands on its own regardless. After the intro sequence ends, you appear, almost as on cue. It's obvious you've been to Britannia before. I've never played any Ultima games before, but this Fellowship seems pretty sus. As with any RPG of this type, your inner kleptomaniac makes an immediate appearance as you grab anything of potential value. You might look at this and think that the frame rate looks pretty low. That's normal. It is running just as God intended. Instead, just look at how pretty it is. There really is a lot of detail here.
Dune, the building of a dynasty. The planet Arrakis, known as Dune. Land of sand.
Dune II is a real-time strategy game. It was quite defining in both the UI and the mechanics of real-time strategy games to follow. It is based on a 1984 film, also named Dune, which is based on a sci-fi novel, also named Dune. You choose to play as one of 3 houses. Your mission is to control all of the planet Arrakis. To do so through many missions, you build a base and train your army to defeat the other houses. To fund it all, you're harvesting the planet's natural resource, spice, for credits.
Construction complete.
Reporting.
Construction complete. Border harvester deployed.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Affirmative. Reporting.
Warning, Harkonnen unit approaching.
Acknowledged.
But I think that will do for this video. Check back next week when I'll be trying to install Linux like it's 1992. And as always, thank you for watching.